Stephen Coreno, Coward, Sports Store here with Coach Red inside Terence Crawford's camp. Man, you got the body pad on. I see right now. You know, I see you working that in the gym as well, man. Just talk about those body shots when Terence is stabbing him to the body. It seems like I don't know how you're standing up.
At the end of camp, my ribs are sore. I mean, it just come with the job, man.
When did you kind of join Terence Crawford in this journey here?
Oh, in this journey as his coach, since 2009. I've been an assistant coach since 2009.
How quickly would you say did you realize like, oh, this kid's special?
Probably when he was about 12, 13 years old.
What about 12-year-old Terence were you like that stuck out beyond the other 12-year-olds?
Just watching his work ethic, his skill set, just his whole demeanor has been the same. You know what I mean, it's been the same guy he is now. It's built off a foundation that he was at when I met him at 12 years old. You know what I mean? He had the same kind of work ethic, same kind of boxing mind, growing, learning. He always been that guy.
He's told me, I asked him how is it that he switches so easily? He said he just kind of did it, and his coaches would ask him why he's doing it. He just kind of kept doing it. Walk me through that when you see it, where you kind of like, what is he doing? You're like, oh, let him go.
I was boxing at the time. You know, when he was a junior, I was a senior, so I didn't know nothing about switching or, I didn't have the knowledge about any of that. But our coach, Ms. Minor, rest in peace, he, let him work on both sides, and he was one of the only ones he allowed to do that because it was just natural and he was just talented to do it. So, start training him on both sides.
Does he, obviously he switches very naturally, but would you say he trains one side more than the other, or is it pretty even?
It's even. He works both ways. Sparring, pads, bag, we switch halfway and halfway. You never know when you're going to need to fight on either side. You know what I mean? So it's just good to be sharp on both sides.
I've asked people, how do they prepare Terence Crawford for Errol Spence, who, constant body attack, pressure, things like that, and vice versa. I've asked, how do you prepare Errol Spence for a guy who switches? I mean, that mind battle must be, is that kind of exciting for you to, as a trainer, to kind of, match wits, so to speak, in game plans?
It is, because it's a competition, and, you want to see who's the best. So if you're not in this game to be the best, then I don't know what you're in it for. So, we're embracing the challenge and we're ready to go.
This fight has been talked about for so long. I know how competitive Terence is. Is it a case where he just wants to separate himself? It's not. I know everyone's talking about it's going to be a great fight. It's, fight of century, all that, but fighters don't like getting hit. It's not like they want a competitive fight necessarily, right? Is this kind of one of those things where he really wants to separate himself? Like, look, I've told you guys forever, I'm that guy, I'm going to show you.
He's prepared to walk through fire. I mean, of course, we would like to separate ourselves and take as least damage as possible, because that's the name of the game. That's the name of boxing. But he's been training so hard, he's prepared to walk through fire if he has to. We're prepared for everything. So, it's just going to be excitement on July 29th. That's all I can really say about it.
Just being that you've known Terence for so long, I'm kind of curious. I feel like I don't hear a whole lot of amateur stories about Terence. Is there, I'm like, why is that? Is it because from Nebraska or something? I don't know why is that?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I mean, I really can't tell you. He was #1 in the country for over a year, maybe a couple of years. So he was a talented and standout amateur, fought in the Olympic trials. So I don't know why. I can't answer that question.
Were you there for Terence's last loss? I feel like I must have been, he was 16, 17? I have no idea. When was his last loss?
I think he might have been 8. No. I wasn't there. I was there for the Golden Gloves loss when we got cheated in the National Golden Gloves final. But his last loss was in the trials, and I wasn't there. I wasn't there with him for that. But yeah, that was in the Olympic trials in 2008, I believe, or 7.
How do you think Terence changed from that loss? Obviously, he did something because he hasn't lost since.
Well, I mean, it's just motivation. Some people take a loss and they fold, or they go, but he uses this as motivation. It was motivation to jumpstart his professional career. That's what he always wanted. Like he said, he wanted to be a world champion. It was a style that he had more suited for the pros anyway. So, I mean, it's just motivation at the end of the day.
I always hear Crawford is very competitive, kind of in anything, right? Like, maybe shooting paper balls in the trash can, things like that. Just give me a competitive story from Terence that, maybe makes you laugh or kind of you think back like, damn, we're messing with that too?
It's so many. I don't know. I can't. It's so many. I have to like stroll through my Rolodex because it's every day. It's every day. It's something. It's cars. It's dominoes. It's darts. It's pool. It's the iPhone hand games. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know if y'all remember on Paid in Full when they was shooting paper sacks into the trash, and they was like betting $5,000 a shot to shoot it in the trash. Like he's competitive at everything. That's true. That's very true.
What's the last thing you beat him in that you're like, okay, cool, I got to win, I'm not doing it again?
I don't play him in nothing. I know better. Because the thing that he's going to do is say, let's bet this, let's bet that. No, I'm not betting. I pause. I'm usually on his team. You know, me and him was real good space partners for a few years. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm usually on his team, or I'm usually cheerleading.
So you have experience, you have experience.
I know better. I know better.
Just read real quickly, I just want to get your take, man. I've got a couple good fights, obviously, beyond this one. Jermell Charlo versus Canelo. I mean, 2 undisputed champions. Obviously, Charlo's moving up 2 divisions.
Yeah.
Well, what happens in that fight?
It's a good fight, man. I got a lot of respect for Jermell Charlo. I mean, he's a big 154, and Canelo is not like the biggest 68. So, I mean, I don't know if the size. We'll see how the size plays out, but just if you had to really like force me to pick, I'm taking Canelo, man. I got Canelo skill set. You know what I mean? He's been the resume he's proven. Like I got Canelo.
Fulton and Inoue, how does that one play out?
I can't call it, man. That's a hell of a fight. I can't wait to see it. 2 guys in their primes. You know what I mean? Fulton going over to Japan to take it from him. You know what I mean? Like I just can't wait to see it. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I'm rooting for the USA. I'm rooting for Philly. I'm rooting for Fulton. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I can't call that fight, man. Can't call it.
Competitive fight too.
It's a great fight.
This last one, Terence touched on it. Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. It's the best of both worlds, coming together. How does it play out?
Tyson Fury, if he comes in shape, I hope we don't take him lightly or do anything different that he wants or cut any corners, because Francis can punch, and the heavyweight division, one punch could be some silly shit, some fluke type shit. So long as Tyson Fury stays on his game and trains the way he trains, like, it should be no problem.
Coach Fred, much appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much. Tell the fans where they can follow you, brother.
Follow me on Instagram, my Twitter. I deactivated my Twitter to keep more focused on what I'm doing right now. But Rosa on my mind on Instagram.
Coach Fred, thank you so much for your time, brother. Thank you so much.